Welcome back to the Gentleman Ultras YouTube channel. We're doing a paper review. We've been away for a few days, mainly because of the international break, but also now with the weather turning and the season continuing, we're just going to crack on with the papers. But talking of the international break, that's where we'll start. The Gazzetta dello Sport here, they have talked about after Italy's qualification for the Euros, they now say Italy are looking increasingly green, meaning the sprouts of youth are coming through, and that's how it's going to be looking against Liechtenstein. Yazuri, of course, already qualified, and it says here that Mancini makes way for youth. He's already assigned 5 or 6 places for the Euros, but the rest are up for grabs. Quite key here, saying that the likes of Roma's Zaniolo and Brescia's Sandro Tonali, the two main ones to watch in midfield, and the real big hopes for the youthful products coming through. So it should be an interesting game. Italy being able to experiment a little bit more. That is also backed up by the Corriere dello Sport here, where it also talks that Italy will be changing here. It says we would discover the other Italy, and says against Liechtenstein, sorry, you'll see the likes of Sirigu in goal, and again quotes Zaniolo saying Belotti as well will play. Interestingly here, there's Roberto Mancini was asked, will I be like Pozzo, the great Vittorio Pozzo, of course, who won the World Cups in 1934 and 1938 for Italy, which he replied quite obviously, well, I could be, but I'm missing 2 World Cups. So good to see Mano always with a bit of a tongue-in-cheek there. Finally, on Tuttosport and the national team, again, they're just backing up everything that the other two have said. Italy, Belotti and Sirigu, over to you now, obviously quoting the Torino section there. Space for Granata in Liechtenstein, it said, and Mancini obviously chasing Pozzo's record, but as he said before, some way off. So what else have we got in the papers in the build-up to the weekend? One of the biggest ones, obviously, we saw Cristiano Ronaldo score his 700th goal. That is the main page in the Gazzetta dello Sport, saying that not only does he score his 700th goal, but Juventus have also locked him down. That penalty in Portugal, for Portugal in Ukraine, see him break even more records. So, and Patrici saying that he will definitely be there till the end of his contract. Also, that was mentioned in the Corriere dello Sport, where they call him the Martian with his 700 goals, saying that yeah, it's an incredible feat. And Patrici, they changed it actually. They said that he'll be at Juve till 2021, but either way, he'll see out his contract. So obviously that was paid tribute to in Tuttosport, we'd expect. And again, they've actually gone with 2022 on the contract this time as well, so quite interesting there. So what else? Finally, we've got a little look on Inter. There's been a bit of a focus this week, obviously since they lost in a Derby d'Italia, which we spoke about on the weekend. They've had a bit of an injury crisis, is probably a bit far, but they've looked. We've got Danilo D'Ambrosio, has been one of the most impressive players under Conte so far. He is out. Gazzetta quite say he is broken. So there's a bit of an emergency at the fullback positions. Potentially we'll see the likes of Lazaro come in now, but not as bad as Gazzetta seems to be making that out from an Inter point of view. The Corriere dello Sport also, they focus on a different one here. Talking the Lukaku bargain it comes in at, saying that Lukaku is behind schedule, and when they compare him to Icardi and how convincing he's been in Paris, they're saying, you know, maybe it wasn't the best move after all. That, in context, is ridiculous, because when you think about all the trouble and the way they went to have to get Icardi out there, Inter fans surely wouldn't look at it in that way. But they say that 3 goals isn't really that great. He's not as lively in the penalty area, not as lethal. He's had back and muscular issues, should we say, and he's not the champion that Conte is wanting just yet. Now, that, in some respects, you know, everyone needs time to bed in. Lukaku started reasonably well and probably will go on. But the problem here is there is an issue for Inter, because the likes of Alexis Sanchez, he is now seen to be out for 2 to 3 months, which also leaves them really light up front, because after Lautaro Martinez and Lukaku, and obviously Inter play 2 up front, you've only got Esposito, the youngster, highly talented, but, you know, can he really come in? So that's why you see in Tuttosport here, that they have said about Antonio Conte, about Giroud, Olivier Giroud, of course, of Chelsea, potentially coming in, a gift for Conte in January. He has been wanting that sort of target man. Obviously, the fail bid for people like Edin Dzeko didn't go down too well, but Giroud would be a really good, useful asset for Inter to just give him a little bit more strength in depth there. And also it's seen that even though Chelsea potentially wouldn't want to part with him, the ability that Tammy Abrahams has been having at the moment, it may convince him to allow Giroud to go. And, you know, Giroud, from whether he's been Arsenal, Chelsea, potentially one of the most underrated strikers because his goal record is absolutely excellent. That's it from us today at the Gentleman Ultra YouTube channel. We've just gone through the papers. We'll be back in the next couple of days to preview the weekend in more detail. So it's ciao for now.